Hi, my name's Holly and I'm a computer science tutor and I run Teach All About It. Today I'm going to be working with a real student on a practice programming question for the 2022 tasks. Now these are practice questions that I have come up with just by looking at the tasks. I have no idea what will come up in the actual exam, but these are useful ones to practice with to get yourself prepared for the exam. Okay, so question 2. This one's a little bit longer, so we've got a 5 marker. So we want to make sure that we've got 5 really distinct pieces of information. So this one, describe the data structures that you used in task 1, include the name, data type, use, and sample data for each. Can you highlight for me the important bits of information? That's it. Cool stuff. Okay, so first of all, what is a data structure? It was a variable that holds more than one piece of data.
An array.
Absolutely. So if they use the word data structure, what they mean is an array. Okay, so we want the name of the array, the data type, why you've used it, and some sample data. Okay, so if we look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of information. So you're going to get one mark for each thing. So task 1 was all about grabbing all of the information about the members of who were volunteering or not at the pier. So can you remember any of the arrays that you created in task 1?
I did first name.
Okay, cool. So let's use that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is when we declare an array, we also want to make sure that we're really, really clear that it's an array. So we're going to put brackets after it. So what kind of brackets does an array use?
Square.
Absolutely. So we're going to put first name, open, close, square brackets. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so that's its name. What data type did it hold?
Strings.
Lovely. So this held, go on then, finish it off for me. Lovely. This held strings of data. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it super, super clear because we want to signpost. And if we're going to signpost, this is where I want the marks. We're going to put this held strings as the data type. So I know it sounds like you've been really, really obvious, but if you think you're stating the obvious, then you're doing it right. Okay, I use this for, can you finish that one off? Why did you have a first name array?
To identify the volunteers' names.
Yep, but it wasn't just their name, was it? It was their first name. So why do you think we hold the first name and the last name as different data types, or rather different data structures?
Because there could be people in the same family with the same last name but different first names.
Yeah, and it also, when we output things, it means that you can say, like, if you had a mail merge, you could hello and then just first name, and it makes it sound more friendly. You lie. Cool. And where was it used later? Is it used in task 2? So have a think. What does task 2 do?
It was used for task 2 to, I think, show like where the volunteers are, so they'd need the first name for it.
Absolutely. So because you needed to output a list of people who had chosen to work in different places, so you could say it's a part of an output of a report. So if we use the word output, again, we're using key technical terms. Okay, and then the sample data, so you can then, last bit, an example. Would be.
Could you put first name dot append?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, first name dot append. So you're giving a little bit of Python in there, and they're going to recognize it as Python. So we're adding something to the end. Good stuff. Yep. Who should we append to the end?
Names.
Ooh. Now, is this going to be, because they're looking at sample data here, they want to see a string. So rather than just saying names, we're actually going to have to give a name. So who should we pick on? Let's pick on Seth. So how would you append the name Seth into the first name array?
Wouldn't it just be Seth in the brackets?
It would, and you're also going to have to put something around to show that it is a string.
Quotes.
That's it. Right. Yep. So your marks, we're going to get one for showing first name. We're going to get a mark for strings, using it to identify the volunteer's first name that's used to put an output of the report. We've got definitely a mark for why you've used it. Definitely got a mark of example appending. And I think the 5th mark would probably come from this bit of saying where it's used later. So because we're being asked to describe, that actually requires a little bit more than simply saying it's to hold this. If they use the word state, then you could just say, I've used it for holding the volunteer's first name. That's it. If they ask for describe, we need to extend what we're writing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So would you like your question featured in one of these videos? Please do hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. And you can submit your GCSE, iGCSE or A-level computer science questions at www.teachallaboutit.school.